I can see her lying back in her satin dress, in a room where you do what you don't confess. Sundown, you better take care if I find you've been creeping round.
Happy Homebrew Wednesday. Whoa, mama. Man, I think I need to turn the pressure down on that. You are looking at, where's the camera? There you are. You are looking at Remorseful Leprechaun. Probably about version 3, but it's a good one. Okay, so I'm back. All right, so first of all, I apologize. I have not done one of these videos in a very, very, very long time. For at least for one person from the UK, that might be a good thing because he was always giving me a thumbs down. So maybe he's happy about that. But actually, I haven't seen that guy give me a thumbs down in a while. I don't know where he went. I'm not saying I want you back, but you know. Anyway, so this is Remorseful Leprechaun. Ooh, look at the color in that. I wonder how I got that color. Well, I'm glad you asked. I got that color with Red X. I actually have a IP recipe that Josh Hoover sent me that I'm just aching to brew, but I'm going to save the right moment when I really am in a fix for a good spicy malty type IPA. But I wanted to get my feet wet with Red X, so I figured what a great way to start than with trying out an Irish ale. And you know, if it's good enough, I'll brew it again for saying, man, look at the clarity and the color on that thing. I actually have a really good lineup on tap right now. So my 3 taps, I have Dropkick Nate, West Coast style. So it's got the Pacific Ale yeast, not the California ale. It's got I guess it's Northwest Coast style Dropkick Nate. What would be the acronym for that? It came out a little more bitter, you know, once it settled down and it's kind of aged a little bit. I'm obviously going to bottle some of that up and send it out to Brad and Elder so they can check it out. But it's amazing. I mean, it's amazing beer. It's the head on it is just, and they got me stuck on the whirlpool, the 45-minute, 30-minute whirlpool. So I'm going to do that with just about all my beers now. It's kind of a pain because when you're using a pump system, you have to once you're done with the boil, you got to send it through the plate chiller. For my system, I have to pump it through the plate chiller and back into the boil kettle, and then it drops to 180 in like a matter of minutes, like a minute or 2 minutes, really. It goes from 212 to 180 in like half a minute. Then you're able to disconnect the hoses again, put it back so that it's just going through the pump and not the chiller. And that's like moving one hose, and then you whirlpool it for about 45 minutes, and you use a little rheostat temperature adjuster that I have, and I can maintain 180 for the whole time. Much easier than sitting there like doing this number for 45 minutes. But anyway, the results is so great on the head retention that I'm just going to start doing that with just about all my beers if it calls for it. I also have an English bitter on my second tap. That's Punch and Judy. It's probably version 10 or something like that, but it came out really well. I actually had this version of Punch and Judy is kind of the trash. Actually, no, it's a trash ESB. Punch and Judy, I took that keg out because it was almost empty, and I put it in my refrigerator. I got to bottle some of that so I can send it out to some of you guys. And I left the trash ESB, just leftover grain, and the same yeast from Punch and Judy I poured the wort on top of this one and made the trash ESB. So I have that one sitting in my second tap, and then in my third tap I have Remorseful Leprechaun version like 3 or whatever it is. I really like this version. I like it a lot. It smells like an Irish ale. It tastes like an Irish ale. It's and it looks beautiful with this Red X. So if you haven't used Red X, look at that. That's absolutely gorgeous. Wow. And remember, you got to start brewing now because St. Patrick's Day will be coming up in March. It's not that far off. So another couple of weeks, it's about time to start brewing it. So what's in the hopper? So I have some friends coming over. Actually, first of all, my brother's coming in tomorrow. I haven't seen him in years. When's the last time I saw my brother? think the last time I saw my brother was I think when my dad passed away in 2008 was the last time I saw him. So it's been about 8 years. I don't see him much. He's in Texas, and he's coming in for a work conference. He'll be hanging out at the Gaylord right across the river from us. So he's going to stay here Wednesday night and then come back over on Saturday after his conference, and we're going to hang out Saturday evening, and he'll probably sample a lot of my wares, and then I'll drive him back to the airport on Sunday. So I'm happy to see him. Next weekend, 2 of my good friends from the 82nd Airborne Division that are still in the Army are going to come down here, and both of them are heading out to Brigade Command, so it's a very happy occasion. We were once all battalion commanders together, and we're going to brew, I think it's an anniversary for one of them. No, it's a promotion party for one of them. He's getting promoted to colonel. So we're going to brew a Doppelbock, a really malty lager for that. And so we're going to brew it next Saturday or Sunday on the 11th, whatever the 11th is. And then I think 6 weeks later, that's when or 3 to 6 weeks, something like that. That's how long it'll take for me to lager that. Then we'll have that ready for his promotion party. So that's the plan. So wow, so I'm already stacked up for the next couple of weeks. Then there's one more beer that I'm actually 2 more beers I'm really excited. First of all, I'm going to do a reboot of Liquid Bacon. I brewed it. I really love the way the porter came out. I just screwed up I didn't put enough smoked malt in, and I put too much maple in, and it didn't get the hint of bacon that F It Let's Brew It tried to help me get with the collaboration that we did on that. I did, actually I still have some of that maple porter. I think I'll probably send Dan some of that porter. But anyway, I'm going to rebrew that thing. But first, I'm going to do a collaboration brew that I'm working with Everty Homebrewing, or Everty Homebrewing, I think it is. We're doing we're going to do a special beer. It's going to be cool. I'm proposing that we call it native transplant, because one of the ingredients is native to one of our states, Wisconsin. The other ingredient is not native. We we stole it from the French, so it's transplanted, so native transplant. It should be really good for as the warm season approaches. Hint, hint. Might give you a clue of what the beer style is, if you can guess. Anyway, it's gonna be a little funky. I think it's gonna be awesome. So I'm very excited to do that. So I've got to go get my ass in gear and pick up a bottle of wine that I got to send to him with some homebrews. So so I got some work to do before this weekend. So anyway, lots to go on the brewing front. I do have one beer that's currently in the fermenting bucket. I'm calling it. Actually, I'm not calling it anything. I stole it. This issue's Zymergy magazine for January, February. There is a beer in there called Vernal Equinox. I think it's supposed to use Equinox hops and Galaxy, but my homebrew shop didn't have any Galaxy, so I supplemented with Citra. The Galaxy with Citra. So, but the rest of the recipe I kept the same. I did a 30-minute whirlpool on it. So that thing is in let's say I brewed it on Sunday, so it's Tuesday, so it's in its 2nd day of fermenting. It's going strong. So I think about another 5 days I'll cold crash it as per the instructions. Crash it down to 36 or 34 for another 7 days. So probably a couple of weekends from now I should have that beer. So looking forward to the Vernal Equinox. The thing took a silver medal in the Pro-Am at the Great American Beer Festival, I think. So looking forward to seeing what that thing comes out like. I think Star Hill was the professional side of the Pro-Am, and they're down in Charlottesville. They actually have a lager that I really love. It's called Jomo Lager. It's a Vienna lager, and I don't know. If you hadn't had it, it's probably the best Vienna lager I've ever had, and it's the first beer, I want to say, no, I think I had Youngling was the first beer I had on tap. The second beer I had on tap was Jomo Lager from Star Hill Brewery. So, and we went down there and we got a chance to go down to their brewery, and anyway. So I'm kind of rambling on. I'm here at 8 minutes. Wow. I think I might have a few little small clips from the brew that I did on Sunday from the Vernal Equinox that I might throw on there. I spent today. I got home early from work, and I had a couple of beers, and I pulled up the brew tubes, and I checked out some old beer reviews from Under the Table Brewing. You know, I went back to when's the first time they reviewed my beer. It was, I want to say, episode Homebrew Review 29. You know, they're up to like 85 or something like that right now. So I felt very honored that, you know, I was in their, not in their seminal, you know, episodes, but in, you know, before 30. That's kind of cool. So I'm feeling like I've been kind of doing this for a while now. I've gotten my feet wet. And it was kind of cool to see Nate with, you know, no hat and different grooming standards going on. I like watching their reviews. And I think the one they did on 85, they had their neighbor come over. I think it was a neighbor. I don't know. I'm not sure. But anyway, it was a fun way to spend the afternoon. Kind of went back and did some nostalgic going back in history of my early BrewTube career, looking at some earlier videos and whatnot. So still trying to steadily catch up. Work has been busy, but I've been fighting it when I can to get a chance to drink homebrew, and catch up on everybody's videos. So I will cut it here. Look forward to seeing you, as always. Look forward to seeing all y'all's videos this week and checking out what's going on in the new BrewTube group that we have on Facebook. And have yourself a happy homebrew and a very happy Homebrew Wednesday. Cheers.
I can picture every move that a man could make. Getting lost in her loving is your first mistake. Sundown, you better take care if I find you've been creeping round my back stairs. Sometimes I think it's a sin when I feel